Listo.
Okay. Okay, so now if we can please invite everybody to their seats, we are getting ready to begin our next panel conversation. Thank you very much. We are getting ready to begin the next one. Okay, now if we can please kindly invite everybody to take their seats. We are getting ready to begin our next panel discussion. Thank you. Okay, so we are beginning our next panel. Please invite everyone to pay a little attention. Okay, well, without further ado, we're going to be beginning our next panel, which is AI for industry, turning challenges into opportunities. Okay, so our next discussion dives into one of the most transformative forces of our time, artificial intelligence. AI is reshaping industries, redefining the way we work, produce, and connect. We're living through one of the biggest technological shifts in modern history. And today's panel will explore this revolution that is unfolding across North America's business and manufacturing sector. Please welcome our panelists. Michael Bowers, founder of Heath AI. Michael is an entrepreneur and technology strategist whose company develops AI-driven tools that enhance business decision-making and consumer insights. And Nevin Bonilla, partner at McKinsey & Company, and advises global organizations on digital transformation and innovation, helping industries harness the power of AI to improve efficiency and competitiveness. And we also have Lisette Espinosa, president and co-founder of Infant Tech. Lisette leads a health tech company designing wearable baby monitors and medical devices using smart technology to improve family well-being. And the moderator, Fernando Sepulveda, founder and CEO of MTech. Fernando brings decades of experience in emerging technologies and innovation, guiding entrepreneurs and executives on how to integrate new technologies for social economic impact. Thank you.
Hello? Excellent. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a great panel with us. And I felt that the last panel really hit off for our discussion. So we're very grateful to the previous panel when we were starting to talk about the opportunities and the disruption that artificial intelligence brings to industry. And as we all know, this topic is a multi-headed monster, right? I mean, on the one hand, it is at the center of a geopolitical confrontation between the great powers of the world. There's big discussion on the lower control of the layers of the chips and the AI data centers that are going to feed both civil and military uses of AI, right? So it is part of this global configuration. It also has incredible practical uses, right? It's one of the technologies that has diffused more quickly into the mainstream of usage. So it's certainly not an easy topic to address, and we want to explore how can we in North America, particularly between Mexico, California, the United States, how can we make AI a tool for economic development, and how business people like ourselves can leverage this fantastic tool for greater productivity and economic development. So I want to thank my fellow panelists for being here. And if we could just do a very quick round of introductions. Obviously, they read your resume, but I would just very quickly say, what excites you the most and what scares you the most about AI? Just to kind of get us started in the mood, and we'll start with you, Lisa.
Well, hi everybody, I'm Lisa Espinosa from System and Soul AI. It's actually interesting you introduced me from under infant tech, but because of the changes in AI, I actually created a new company supporting entrepreneurs how to use and adopt AI. But my background, it's fascinating for me how everything's coming full circle. I'm actually also an attorney, and I litigated, and I also have another company with infant tech in manufacturing. So I've seen, and I've been in the entrepreneur space for about 14 years now, and I was seeing the need of how entrepreneurs are not adopting it at the level that they should be. So what excites me now is, last year's conversation was probably, you need to use AI. Now it's like, how are you using it and how are you implementing it? Because it's not a question anymore. So I'm excited to help transform individuals through this because there's so much opportunity.
And what excites you the most, and what scares you the most out of AI?
I think similarly, this idea of the opportunity, what it can be, the transformation that we have just seen so quickly in such a short amount of time. I'm sure today we're going to talk about agentic AI, right? But a year ago, we still would have been talking about Gen AI, right? That would have been mostly the discussion. And so the opportunity, the things that we don't know yet, the thing that scares me the most is, and we were talking about this a bit before the panel, is just the potential for a greater divide, the digital skill, the digital divide that we have seen throughout technology, that it is exacerbated, right, for businesses, small and large, for people, based on sort of where they are living and what access to technology they have, rather than what their own knowledge and skills and abilities are.
Well, you, Michael, what really excites you about AI, and what scares you about AI?
Well, that is a great question. So the first thing, I have 25 years in IT and cyber risk management, and so when I first got AI, it was about understanding how this can work. Well, first of all, is it a threat for any of my clients? And then how do we use it, like the internet? When the internet first came about, it was, first we had networks, but then it was, well, this thing can connect the world, but what do we do with it? So the potential for connecting people is what excites me. As you said, the threat was also the education divide and communities not really being told to embrace AI at all. So they're saying AI is something that someone else does. And so I feel the threat is the lack of education, which the last panel did talk about educating people on the potential of what it can do for you. And so that, to me, the fact that people are not embracing it like they should, scares me a little bit, but I'm also excited for the potential and what it can help people actually get done, especially entrepreneurs or even individuals.
Fernando, if I can threats, I'm afraid of the misconceptions behind it, right? From a legal and a policy perspective of thinking that if you use AI, it's not private or that you don't own it, right? Something that came out. And it's like, to me, it's like if you're not using AI, then it's obvious you're not using it because you're thinking that. Because those misconceptions need to be helped. So this is where I appreciate these conversations, because there has to be a different way for us to look at it, to adopt it.
Can I ask a question
Yes.
for the audience? How many of you now have an AI governance policy in your organization? How many of you think that your employees are using ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or any of the other tools? So that gap is something we should talk about in the next 45 minutes, because that's really important. We can't bury our head, and governance though doesn't mean stopping. It just means understanding what people are doing so that we can ensure people have both the skills and what you have started talking about, Lizette, is also making sure that people, that you understand the implications of what people are doing.
So a couple themes starts emerging, right? So we have this fast-paced technology that is changing and augmenting capabilities almost by the day, right? You have an emerging digital divide, both among people, but also within businesses, right? And there's a lack of a governance framework at all levels, right? At the public policy level, right? At the corporate governance level, at the direct policies within the companies, right? Even at schools, right? I mean, there's a lot of concern of how you leverage the tool without inhibiting the learning process, right? And how you avoid this being as a cheating tool versus a learning tool, right? So it's a little bit of a mess, and hopefully we can untangle that mess for our audience, our audience today. Let me start with the governance framework, and maybe I'll start with you, Anne. As countries, right, Mexico, the US, as we're trying to build this hyper-competitive region in North America, right? What should we be looking for in terms of creating a policy framework that enables a healthy development of the AI industry? Should we go kind of the European way towards regulation, or should we go to the laissez-faire view that the Chinese are approaching and using it as a competitive tool, right? I mean, where should we be thinking about in this context in North America?
I have some thoughts on that, but I will push back to say it's not that it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what I think, but I think what matters is what's happening, right? And what's happening, right, in